Hey guys, welcome back to my Seattle Mariners series here on Out of the Park Baseball. If you remember from the last episode, we faced the Houston Astros. We were able to sweep the Houston Astros in 3 games. Definitely not what I expected, but our next challenge is going to be the Boston Red Sox. So the Red Sox this year were 2nd in runs scored. They were 5th in runs against. Their rotation includes David Price, Seth Romero, who looks to be pretty good, Carson Fulmer, and Royness Elias, who is definitely not good. For their batting order, they are led by Jurickson Profar. It must be his defense that was so good, although I guess he was an above-average offensive player. They also have Michael Chavez, who is a prospect, I believe, that developed in the Red Sox system. They also have Mookie Betts, Mike Zunino, who finished with a pretty darn good year, it seems. So maybe he was worth the $10 million after all. Another thing to note is that their closer is Edwin Diaz. Now, we had traded Diaz to the Red Sox in a previous trade. As you can see, we got Devers in that trade, so I do think that we won. And in fact, taking a look at who else they got, I believe it was just Diaz and Devers that ended up developing. But anyway, it is time to get this series started. So the Red Sox in Game 1 are going to throw Seth Romero, who is a lefty. Therefore, we're going to have our left-handed order that we like, which is going to be moving up Pollock to that 5th spot. I think otherwise, though, things are going to stay the same. It looks like Kershaw is ready for Game 1, so he will get the ball. He is fully rested after the last series. All right, so we'll do until runners in scoring position. As you can see, we are through 2.5, but it looks like the Red Sox probably got a home run here. So we take a look at the game log. Yep, you can see Jose Abreu hits a solo home run off of Kershaw in the bottom of the 2nd. He gets through the rest of the inning, though. Through 3, still 1-0. And now you can see nobody out. Vladimir Guerrero at 2nd, Rafael Devers at 1st. Pac is at the plate. 1-1 count, and that's going to be a ground ball to short, so they are going to get the out at first base. But in through the back door comes Rafael Devers, so 1 out. Guerrero still at 2nd, and that's line down the line. That is a base hit, and it's going to be a double for A.J. Pollock. A run scores, and the Seattle Mariners take the lead here in Game 1, 2-1. Naylor is the next hitter. He is going to strike out, unfortunately, and so Yurina will get a chance with 2 outs. He strikes out. The inning is over, but Seattle gets 2 runs. Over to the next inning, Kershaw gets Boston out in the bottom of the 4th. Through 5, still 2-1. Let's take a look at how many pitches Kershaw has. Only at 52 pitches, so definitely not tiring as of yet. Now in the bottom of the inning, through there. So it is now the 7th inning. I think we're going to start going batter by batter now, as Pollock will be the leadoff hitter. And there's a drive deep to left field, way back, and it's caught at the wall. Oh, that really looked like it was going to be a home run. A little embarrassing there. And so just the first out of the inning, unfortunately. Seth Romero still in the game, and it will be Josh Naylor who will get a base hit with 1 out here. And so Yurina will be the next batter, and it's going to be a pickoff throw, but he's going to be safe there. So 3-2 now to Yurina, and that's going to be a fly ball to left. It's going to hang up just enough for Lopez to be able to make the catch, and that's going to bring up Ben Gamel with 2 outs. We are going to hit with Ben Gamel here. Romero still at the plate, and that's going to be a ground out to end the inning. Oh, it really looked like Pollock's hit was going to be a home run, but this score is still 2-1. Kershaw sitting at 62 pitches. Looking at the order, I think we're going to keep him in for a while, it seems. And just as I say that, that is going to be up against the monster to lead off the inning. And so a lead-off double. I don't think we're really going to be taking out Kershaw, because I just think he's by far the best pitcher that we would have available. But I do think I might warm up someone like Altavita just in case. All right, so nobody out still. 2-2 is the count. That's going to be a ground ball to shortstop, and the first out of the inning. Chavis, I guess, will stay at second base. 2-2 to the next guy. That's a ground ball to short. Chavis is going to move, and in fact, it's going to be an infield hit. Definitely a bummer here in the 7th inning. I do think we're going to go with double play depth just in the hope that we can get 2 outs. It's unfortunately 2-0 is the count. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. I think that's going to score the run. And it's going to be a tie game. Boston ties it up at 2. Marte is the next hitter. And that's going to be outside. Throw down to second. And he's out. So that's how the inning ends. Through 7, it is tied 2-2. Vasquez is going to be the leadoff hitter. Now remember, we can't really pinch hit because unfortunately, after McCann retired late in the season, Vasquez is the only catcher on the team. So no real choice here. Kershaw still sitting only at 78 pitches, so he's definitely going to start the next inning, especially with the bottom of the order coming up. But I would not be opposed to going to someone like Pedro Baez or maybe bring in Chung sort of early. It depends on really what goes on offensively in this inning. But Vasquez is starting this out 0-2. He's going to strike out. Edwin Diaz is on the mound. He is the Red Sox closer here, pitching in the 8th as Kemp will work a walk. Kemp, pretty fast. I don't think we're going to steal here, though, with Zunino behind the dish. He's pretty good. That's going to be a ground ball to second. Devers is out at first, but Kemp does move up to second base. So a runner in scoring position for Guerrero, but that is going to be popped up, and I believe the inning is going to be over once it finally comes down. And so that is 7.5 innings, still 2-2. So I think I'm going to start warming up Baez just in case something gets a little crazy this inning. Obviously, Kershaw's not thrown too many pitches, and that's going to be a strikeout to start the inning. Zunino is up next. He will hit one to center field. Pollock coming on, and he will make the grab for the second out. Lopez is going to be up next. 0-1 is the count, and that's going to be a base hit into center field. So Kershaw now sitting at 88 pitches. Kershaw is going to face Profar, that's for sure, and that is going to be a strikeout to end the inning. That might be it for Kershaw. He's definitely, he's at 93 pitches, so he definitely doesn't have to be done for the game. I think we're going to sit down Baez, so we'll play it by ear. For now, we're just going to hit, though. Pac is the first person up. Carson Smith now pitching for the Red Sox here in the top of the 9th, and that's going to be popped up out towards second base, and it will be caught out there for the first out. Pollock is up next. 2-1 to Pollock, and he's going to shoot one over to the first base, but that is going to be an out, an easy out for Marte to make. And so I think that we are going to start warming up Sung, I believe, just because I believe that he'd probably come in sometime next inning. We're definitely going to start out with Kershaw. He's been mostly rolling as Naylor hits one to center field, and that's going to get down. Looks like a double, so another man in scoring position for Seattle. But it's going to be Richard Yurina at the plate. We will have to see what he can do. 0-1 is the count, and that's going to be a ball up the line, but fielded at first base by Marte, who steps on the bag. And so this game is still tied with Clayton Kershaw on the mound. I think I'm going to take him out. Sung's been very good, and it's a bunch of righties coming up this inning, so we'll see if that made sense. It might not have, but Kershaw gives us 8 very strong innings. Unfortunately, just not enough. That, it looks like it's going to be a base hit for Betts to lead off the inning. So let's see, with Betts on first base, we're going to do double play depth for the infield, and we're going to hold the runners here. 3-2 is the count, and it's going to be a strikeout. Throw to second, though, and Betts is going to make it. Although we were trying to hold the runner. Let's see. All right, I don't think there's much else that we can do. We are going to hold the runner here just in case he decides to go. That's going to be a ground ball to short. So that is an out. 2 outs, but Mookie Betts at third base. I don't think that there's anything we want to do with the infield or the outfield. All right, let's see. Springer at the plate. 3-2 is the count to Springer, and he's going to walk. Oh boy, a lefty at the plate now. 3-2 again to Cordero, and he's going to walk. This is going to be the last batter of the inning one way or another. 0-2 is the count to Marte. He strikes out, and the inning's over. So we are going to extra innings here in Game 1. So Sung throws 24 pitches. We're going to start warming up Pedro Baez. He is going to pitch the next inning, I believe. But Ben Gamble's going to lead it off for us. So 0-1 is the count, and Gamble shoots it to center field, and that is going to be hitting off the wall. So a leadoff double for Ben Gamel here in the top of the 10th, which is going to bring up Vasquez. Oh, he always comes up in these clutch situations. He's going to strike out here. Kemp is the next hitter. 3-2. That's a ground ball to short. Runner goes to third with 2 outs. And he's out by half a step. It says Devers now at the plate. 1-0 is the count. Carson Smith still in the game. And Devers, unfortunately, is going to ground out to second base. That definitely hurts not to score that run. Baez will take over next here in the 10th inning. 2-2 to Zunino. Is he going to be the Red Sox hero? We will have to see. That's going to be a ground ball to third, though. And Zunino, not very quick, will definitely be out at first base. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Lopez. Ground ball to first. Guerrero's going to get it. Is he going to beat it out, though? And no, he's out. So 2 outs now in the inning, and that's going to bring up Jurickson Profar. And a ground ball to first. Guerrero's going to grab it. So the inning is over. 10 innings in the books, and it's still 2-2. Now we got to figure out what to do. So I believe that Baez can start the next inning, and then the question is going to be who we're going to go to next. I'm thinking either Altavita or Alcantara. I think maybe Altavita would be the next in line. Again, a bunch of righties coming up, so I don't really want to go to Tyler J until we get maybe a little bit further down the order. Not many lefties in this Red Sox lineup, so I think for now we're just going to let Guerrero hit. So Carson Smith still on the mound, and he's going to hit one to center field, but that is going to drop, actually, and it will be a leadoff double for Guerrero. Looks a lot like last inning so far. So with that said, I think it's time to start warming up Altavia, I guess is his name. So nobody out now for Pac. Carson Smith still on the mound, and it's going to be an intentional walk. Strangely enough, a kind of questionable call, even though Pac is a good hitter. You don't really want people on base. 3-2 now. That's going to be slapped to left, and it will fall. So the bases are going to be loaded for the Mariners with nobody out. And Josh Naylor coming to the plate. 1-1 is the count. Oh, at first base, they're going to get the out at home on the ground ball there. Definitely unfortunate. So now Yurina will be at the plate. 0-1 is the count. That's a ground ball, and they're going to get the out at first as well. A double play. So the Mariners had the bases loaded with nobody out and can't score. Oh, that is very frustrating. So Baez is definitely going to pitch to Betts here. Only 13 pitches so far, although that is going to be a base hit. So the question is, when are we going to be taking Baez out? Right now with 15 pitches, I still think Baez is the best pitcher to be out there. We're going to go to double play depth and hold the runners on. 1-2 to Chavez, who's the next hitter, and that's going to send Boston home, maybe? No, it will be caught. That is definitely hard to judge as another flyout that I thought was a home run. So Mookie Betts does go to second. Baez at 19 pitches. I think we are going to go to Altavia. We don't really have another shutdown arm, unfortunately. So it'll be Abreu up next. We are going to hold the runner here. 1-1 is the count. No special defense on with Abreu hitting. I guess maybe I could have done a shift. And that's creamed to center field, and I think that's going to do it. It's going to drop in, and the Red Sox take Game 1, 3-2. A heartbreaker, considering how many chances we had in that game. Bases loaded, nobody out. Multiple instances of people in scoring position, ready to be driven in. And although Clayton Kershaw threw a great game, it just was not enough. 8 innings, 2 runs. That is going to be hard to shake off. But next up will be Game 2. I think our Game 2 starter, taking a look, I guess it doesn't really matter. It's just like who would be better at Fenway versus on the road. I think we're going to let Paxton go on the road. He's sort of the veteran pitcher. For the Red Sox, they're going to be throwing Carson Fulmer, who is a righty. I still want Guerrero hitting fourth, I think. But otherwise, we're going to keep this order the same. I'm going to move up Pollock as well. All right, so I think that is going to be our order for Game 2. With Paxton on the mound, I'm not going to call this a must-win, but boy, do we need to win it. So Fulmer gets the ball here. We're going to do until runners in scoring position. Nothing in the first for either side. Nothing through 2. Still, actually, the Mariners got a run. I didn't realize. It must have been a solo home run. Let's see. It was actually not, so a double scored Yurina, who walked in the top of the second. Either way, we have a run, so we are in the lead. Due until runners in scoring position in the fourth, and it looks like the Red Sox have Mookie Betts on second with 2 outs. We're going to hold the runners here. 3-2 is the count to Abreu, and that's hit pretty deep to center field, but Pollock is going to get there to make the catch, and through 4, it is 1-0 Seattle. Go until runners in scoring position. It looks like we've got Ben Gamble at second with 2 outs, and it's Christian Vasquez who needs to get the big hit, and he does not. He strikes out. So now Paxton coming out for the 5th inning here, and he gets through the 5th. Let's see how many pitches he has. 55 pitches. He seems to be cruising. Our bullpen is definitely a little bit tired. We don't have as many good people that we could go to, so Paxton might have a bit of a longer leash. We'll sim through the top of the 6th inning. Nothing there. Nothing for the Red Sox as well. Another pitcher's duel so far. Again, Paxton, like Kershaw yesterday, a very low pitch count. So we're going to have him start the next inning, although I think now that's the bottom of the 7th, we're going to start going batter by batter. Didn't realize, actually, Altavilla is injured. But Baez, he's mostly rested, so he might be able to come back at some point today. All these righties are coming up, so you would kind of like to go to a righty. Maybe Alcantara. I think we're going to start warming up Alcantara. You can make a lot of arguments about who should be coming in, but for now it's going to be Alcantara warming up. So Paxton will start the next inning against Mookie Betts, and it looks like this game is tied. I did not misjudge that one. That is not a flyout. A home run for Mookie Betts, and just like that, it is a tie game. We're going to leave Paxton in, at least for now, as Chavez gets a base hit. Oh, boy. All right, let's do a mound visit. So Alcantara still warming up. I don't know who else we go to, so we're just going to leave Paxton in, at least for another batter or two. Should have done double play depth, but with 1 and 2, that is just going to be a pop-up. So I hope that Paxton can pitch to Springer and Cordero, and then I assume that will sort of be the end of his night. So we're going to do double play depth and pitch to Springer here. And that's going to be a ground ball to short. It looks like a double play, and it is. So Paxton gives us 7 innings, gives up 1 run. I think now we might be able to go to Baez and Sung and not worry about Alcantara. I think that is what we'll do, and then if we get through that and still need pitching, we'll go to Alcantara, but we really need to win this game, so we need our best pitchers in there. I think we're going to let Ben Gamble hit, and then we'll start warming up Baez. So Gamble gets a 2-1 count. Edwin Diaz on the mound for the Red Sox. He's been pretty good so far this series, but that is a base hit for Gamble to lead off the inning. And now it's going to be time to warm up Pedro Baez for the 8th. Vasquez at the plate, 2-2, and he's going to strike out. Yeah, this is getting problematic, unfortunately, but nothing really we can do. Kemp will be the next hitter. That's going to be a ground ball to second base. They're going to get the force out at second, but they will not get Kemp at first. Now Devers up with 2 down, 3-2 is the count, but he will go down swinging. So Diaz sets them down, and it's going to be heading into the bottom of the 8th now. Score still tied. We are going to put in Baez. Let's take a look at Sung. So he's, again, mostly rested like Baez. I think we might also warm up. Well, let's just wait a little bit. So Baez will face Cordero to lead off the inning. A left-hander. Maybe I should have left Paxton in for one more hitter, but oh well. That is going to be an out at first base, so a quick out for Baez. That's a good sign. A strikeout for Marte, so 2 gone. Leaving Baez to face Zunino. 2-2 is the count, and he strikes out, so the Mariners get through the 8th. We really need to get some offense going. We've scored 3 runs this series. The bats have just fallen asleep. We're going to start warming up Sung. And so now it'll be Pac to lead off the inning. 2-0 is the count. Nick Whittigren is the new pitcher for the Red Sox. Has not done well in the postseason, but he gets Pac to ground out to second base there. And it'll be Guerrero up next here with 1 out in the 9th. He's going to go down on strikes, and then it'll be Josh Naylor. Boy, could we use a home run. It'd be the first one of the series for him, but instead he just grounds out into the shift, and the inning is over. So Baez, I don't really think we want him pitching anymore. He's a little bit tired from yesterday anyway. So we're going to bring in Sung. I think we're just going to bring in Sung. No real plan B for this inning, at least. I think if we lose by Sung. So it'll be Sung against Lopez here for the first batter. He's going to strike him out. Profar will bat next. 0-1 is the count. That's lined into right field for a base hit, unfortunately. So it'll be Betts is next, and he's running on the pitch. I did not realize that Profar was that quick. Oh well, we're going to be holding the runners now. 3-2, unfortunately, to Betts, and that's a fly ball to left, but it looks like it's going to be caught for the second out. Oh boy, Chavez is the next hitter, 0-2 to him, and he's going to strike out. So for the second straight game, we are going to extra innings here in the ALCS. I think next we're going to be having to bring in Alcantara. All right, so it'll be Yurina leading off the 10th. 1-2 is the count. I mean, we just can't score. This is sad. Yurina strikes out. Pollock hits one to left. That looks like it's going to be caught, and it is. 2 outs for Ben Gamel. Nick Whittigan pitching. Gamel grounds out to first. So 10 innings and only 1 run mustered by Seattle, unfortunately. Question is, do we want Sung facing Abreu? I think he's got to be pretty tired. I want to get him out of there. We're going to put in Sandy Alcantara. Obviously, we don't love the idea of having lefties pitching against these guys, but I think I'm going to warm up Tyler J just in case something blows up. And Abreu gets a 3-2 count. Please do not walk Abreu, as that is going to be a strikeout, though. So Abreu strikes out. Springer up next. Alcantara will strike him out as well. Now the lefty in Cordero at the plate. 2-2, and he strikes out the side. So a good bottom of the 10th for Alcantara. I think we're going to sit down Tyler J. I hate warming people up and sitting them down. I definitely do that too much. Jeez, it's Vasquez leading off the inning, 3-2, and he strikes out. So that is the first out of the inning. And next up is going to be Tony Kemp. So with 2-2, that is going to be a base hit up the middle. So maybe something going here for Seattle, as Devers will be the next hitter. Nick Whittigan still pitching here. 1-0 is the count, and that looks like it's a fly ball to left. But he drops the ball, and he's not going to get the out at second. So a huge error there, and that's going to bring up Pac with a man in scoring position. 1-0 is the count. That's a base hit into left field. We're sending him. Oh, we are sending him home. Kemp, the throw to the plate. He is. Oh, he's out at the plate. Oh, my God. It's so rare in this game that people get thrown out. We had no offense to speak of. I really wanted to send him. It'll be Guerrero, and he's going to ground out to short, and the inning's over. How did we not score a run there? That is tough to swallow. Oh, my goodness. I might start warming up De Leon. Maybe he's the next guy that we go to after Alcantara. But, I mean, for now, Alcantara is cruising. That is 4 strikeouts against the 4 batters he has faced. Zunino up next. That's a ground ball to third, and with Zunino's speed, he will be thrown out. So that's 2 gone for Lopez. 1-2 to Lopez, and he strikes out. So a great performance by Alcantara. We might think about keeping him in, although it's 29 pitches for a reliever. That might be it. Obviously, he's got some pretty good stamina. I'll think about it. So Josh Naylor, though, is going to lead off this inning. Whittigan still in, and Naylor to left field. That's going to be a flyout, though. I've learned my lesson, and it is a flyout. Unfortunately, those always look promising next to the monster. I think I've decided I am going to put in Jose De Leon. Yurina's going to hit next with 1 out, 2-1 to Yurina. And that's going to be a crown ball to first. So 2 outs here in the 12th for A.J. Pollock. 0-1 to Pollock, and that's going to be a ground out to third. This game is nuts. So it'll be Jose De Leon on the mound. Oh, God, please. He's going to walk Profar. He was basically a leadoff hitter. So he does walk him. That is not good. I immediately regret doing this, and I'm going to warm up Tyler J. I don't care that he's a lefty. We're going to visit the mound. So with Profar on, I want to do a double play depth, and we're going to hold the runner. 2-2 to Mookie Betts. He had the home run earlier, but this time he grounds to short, and it's a double play. Huge double play, and that's going to bring up Chavez with 2 down, and that's going to be a ground ball to first. De Leon covers the bag. So through 12, it's still 1-1. Let's see, 14 pitches for De Leon. I mean, I keep warming up Tyler J, but oh well, we're going to sit him down. Gamble is the first hitter. He has a swinging bunt, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. Next will be Vasquez, and that's a fly ball to center field. That's pretty well struck, and it's going to get down, so a double for Vasquez, a huge hit, and it's going to be bringing up the top of the order now. So Kemp is up, 1-2 the count. Tyler Webb is the new pitcher. He is a left-hander, so lefty-lefty against Kemp, and Kemp is going to go down swinging. Now it will be Devers at the plate. 1-0 is the count, and we're going to leave another runner in scoring position stranded. We've had 9 hits today. Only 1 run, unfortunately. De Leon still out there. 2-0 the count to Abreu. And the Red Sox, it looks like... Oh, he does? He did catch it. Oh, my God. I have been misjudging those balls. I thought that was it. Well, if the last pitch was any question, this is not. The Red Sox win. They take a 2-0 series lead. A home run in the bottom of the 13th inning for George Springer. You knew it was going to happen at some point. You got to score more runs. We've had plenty, I think probably 24 innings so far in this series, and we've scored 3 runs. So you're not going to win baseball games if you can't score. That is really disappointing to have 2, basically tie games and now be down in the series 2-0. But we are coming home, so I guess that is a consolation.